Hi guys, this is Ratchet Throw, and we are playing Criminal Case Elite Mode, Case 44, Murder, he wrote. Let's unlock Chapter 3, and Lars is about to commit suicide and we can't let him do that. No, 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 no. Why? What have I got to live for? Bro, please, if you weren't drunk, you wouldn't be saying this. Don't let the jaw destroy everything you have left. Your girls, me, Katarina, the whole bureau. We're here for you, dude. Jack, I don't know. I dropped that knife, bro. Okay? Yes, it's just been so hard. I know, bro, but you'll be alright. I promise. Bro hug. Katarina, don't worry. I'll make sure Lars is okay. So that was distressing. But glad as I am that Lars is no longer brandishing a knife by his jugular. We're still no close to answers about our murder in the Sombra cache. For all we know, our Sombra agents on the loose here. We can't afford to waste time. Let's revisit the crime scene. There might be something we missed. Yeah. Going back to the library. Whoa, why is the chest glowing? Well, we don't actually know what was in there. We only found a murder weapon. So the killer stole whatever there was in the cache. So we find him, we find the contents, whatever they are. Great picture of you, but somebody fired something at you. A security camera that was put on bookshelf. Katarina, this portrait of our victim has a bullet hole through his forehead. Who'd do something like that? You're right, the weird palettes of the portrait might reveal who fired the bullet. Let's gather them up. A good call grabbing that security camera. We should unlock it. And are you sure we have time for admiring pretty statues, even if they've got notes attached to them? A clue is a clue. Well, your guesses usually pay off. Let's reveal what the note says. Quick, Katarina, we need to move fast if Sombra is involved in this murder. Okay. Alright, we're gonna unlock the camera first. Press play. Katarina, let's check out the last thing this camera recorded. Yeah, let's do this. Ernesto, why are you always at this library and not with me, feeling our passion? I'll stop with your fashion, Facundo. I'm working, Facundo, for goodness sake. Or I was, until you turned up. And that librarian disappeared for a smoking break just as I needed her too. A filthy habit, smoking. Yes, and your wife smokes too, so you should divorce her and marry me instead. I don't smoke, I dance, and I shower you with passion. Oh my. Katarina, I sure didn't see this coming. The victim was having an affair with a tango dancer. Oh, so that's what this is all about. Facundo didn't say a word about their passion earlier. He better explain himself now. Alright. Alright, now the note of the statue. I can't read Spanish, no. Caterina, the note on the statue clearly mentions the victim's name. We got to learn what the rest of the note says. Let's get the statue to the pond ASAP. Yeah. Why do you want to pronounce this as ASAP? I see people are just pronouncing it ASAP. Or as soon as possible. Alright, now let's collect this. I pronounce it ASAP because of ASAP Science channel. Hopefully the pellets we got from the victim's photo will reveal who shot the bullet at it. Let's put it under the microscope, Katerina. Quick. Yeah. Let's examine the pellets before talking to Facundo. I'm surprised that I didn't get the stay calm screen. This one was hard. Horse feed. I was expecting that. The price for the damaged photo turned out to be horse feed. So whoever shot the victim's photo straight through the forehead must be involved with horses somehow. There's one suspect who fits that description. El Desesperado, for instance. He told us he didn't know the victim, but he'd better change his tune now. You weren't so helpful in the first interrogation. Now you gotta tell us more about the victim. Alright, let's first go to Facundo. Mr. Vidal, you said Ernesto was only an acquaintance, but we found evidence of your affair with him. So you learned about that. Yes, it was shameful of me to hide. But I was only honoring Ernesto's wishes. He didn't want anyone to know about our passion. It takes two to tango, and Ernesto was my other half. I even read books to understand him better. Something he wrote, and have books, and other things with many words in them. But Ernesto didn't make compromises for me. He wanted to keep me in the shadows, though it would have been illegal for us to get married. And if you kill him for that, Mr. Vidal, you'll go straight to the shadows of a jail cell. No, he's not going to be. Alright, now, Desesperado. What do you have to say? El Desesperado. You told us you didn't know Ernesto Capena, but that photo sure looks like a death threat. Aye, you found Daddy's better, Caterina. I'll admit, I tried to kill that man. He came into these lands, and he disrespected me. But this is my domain. I roam here, along with my horse and my cigarillos. I won't bear insults from a man like him, who isn't even a caballero. So I followed this man to his library and shoot at his photo, and tell him that he should only return here if he wants to die. Well, he did die, and if you kill him, your ruin will be limited to the prison yard. No, it's not going to be him either. What does this note say? Caterina, I heard about Lars. Que horror. Perhaps he needs company. I could sit with him for some hours, educate him about Argentinian musical instruments. Maybe just let him sleep off the wine for now. Moving on, what did the note on that statue say? It said that this antique statue was painted for someone to stop Ernesto Carpena from digging into the past. Oh! Digging into the past? Katerina, you're right. The note is definitely referring to Sombra's cache. And we know just who would demand payment in rare antiques. Munoz had better tell us who paid him to stop the victim's research. Little suspicious. What do you have to say for that, Ignacio? Munoz, the game's up. We know you were paid to stop Ernesto Carpena from looking into Sombras' cache. Who gave you that statue? I knew I misplaced it somewhere. Please, Vera Caterina, the truth is, I don't remember who gave the statue to me. Oh, please, don't lie to us. Let me remind you, you were told to stop Carpena from looking into Sombras' affairs, so the payment must have come from them. You've clearly got Sombra on your brain, Michelle, but don't assume the same of me. Carpena paid me to help you research his treasure, and so I made a better offer so that I'd stop. Naturally, I stopped. I certainly didn't kill him on Sombras' orders. I'm no assassin. I like calm things, antiquities, a nice cup of mate, and evening spent reading Borg. Well, you'll find plenty of calm in your prison cell if Lisbeth Katerina learns you committed this murder. I don't like this guy. Katerina, this case seems to revolve around that Sombra cache, but the details still elude us. Someone, maybe Sombra itself, wanted to stop the victim's research into the treasure. But Carpena visited the mountain where the cache was hidden, so it's possible that he found it anyway. You're right, Katerina, we need to return to that mountain for more answers. Let's hurry there before the murderer makes their next move. Yeah. Let's go. Katerina, there's blood on that rope, and some fibers caught in the blood. Grace mentioned the victim was tied up. Could this have been the rope used to do it? That would explain why we didn't find any restraints at the crime scene. Let's collect a sample from this rope. If the killer used this place to get rid of evidence, this wheelbarrow could be hiding more than dirt. Let's search through it. With Sombra breathing down our necks, there's no time to waste. Yeah. Alright, now the rope. Well, let's first examine the rope. Fibers. Katerina, we need to get the bloody fibers on that rope analyzed ASAP. Lars may be indisposed, but Grace can tell us all we need to know. Okay. I said ASAP again. 30 hours. Alright, now the wheelbarrow. A book. Katerina, what's an old book doing in that wheelbarrow? The label on it says Property of Biblioteca Granadan. You're right, that's the library where the victim was murdered. This book clearly didn't land here by accident, Katerina. Lars would have loved to examine it, I'm sure, but as it is, we should rush it to Grace. Why would you hide a book in a pile of dirt? What are these fibers? Katerina. I thought visiting Argentina would be all eating dolls and leche and playing football, but instead it's one drama after another. First a murder, then Mr. Douglas. The pure murder seems to be a crisis a day keeps boredom away. So, any news about the bloody fibers from that rope? The blood on the fibers matches your victims. So this was a rope used to tie him up. Yes, and what's more, the fibers on the rope came from the killer's clothing. Once I cleaned those fibers up, I saw they were sky blue. So the killer wears something of that color. The killer wears sky blue? That's sure blue their cover, Katerina. I get it, blue, blue. Katerina, I won't beat around the bush. The victim's hair and scalp matter were on this book you found on the mountain. Which proves this book was used to hit the victim over the head and knock him out. Oof, pretty hard book. An old volume like that, in metal bindings? Yes, that would do it. So it was the killer who left this book on the mountain. Yes, and they left something else behind. The killer scratched themselves on the metal edges of the book, and it was enough for me to tell they have O+ type blood. Oh, just like me. We're going to get this O+ blooded killer oh so fast, Katerina. Sombra or not, they don't stand a chance now. Yeah. Katerina, we can finally arrest the killer and learn how this murder relates to that hidden Sombra cache. And a pretty brutal murder it was, so who would be so angry? Angry enough to kill. Oh, it was the librarian. A pretty brutal murder. What? What did the victim do to you so that he deserved to die in that brutal way? And how does this concern the Sombra cache? Lorena Prax, you're under arrest for the brutal murder of Ernesto Carpena. Me? Lisbeth Katerina? Oh no, I'm not that old murderous type. Yes, you're the Borg reading type. We found a quote you left at the library. Borg's books are very popular. I'm sure smoking is also popular, but torturing people with burning cigarettes isn't. You think that I tortured Senor Carpena? Yes, you did. Drop the act. We found your blood on the book you used to knock Carpena out. So you know everything, Lisbeth Katerina. I guess my harmless librarian disguise didn't fool you. Oh? It was Carpena's own fault I had to kill him. He wouldn't stop digging into the treasure, and so he crushed Sombra. Oh! So you knew the cache on the map did what Sombra says. You must be one of their agents. So what? I'm not ashamed. Sombra is the future of this world. It's you who's living in the past. Apparently you cared about the past enough to kill a man over it. I knew a Sombra cell hid a documents cache near here decades ago, but I didn't know where. When Carpena stumbled upon his trail, I realized what he must have found. And I tried to stop him from searching, or at least delay him so I might find the hidden documents first, but he wouldn't quit. It was so troublesome. In the end, I had to torture Carpena to discover what he knew and whom he'd told. Good timing, too. He'd started suspecting his treasure wasn't the gold he'd hoped to find. Do you even hear yourself? I'll never understand how Sombra manages to train human feelings out of their agents. Feelings wouldn't have helped me do my job. Using what I learned from Carpena, I tracked the documents down, and now they are safe from everyone. Safe where? What did you do with them? No comment, Lisbeth Katerina. Well, here's one comment for you. You're under arrest. Yeah. Lorena Prax, you stand accused of the murder of Ernesto Carpena. How do you plead? Not guilty, Your Honor. It was a murder. I was just doing my job. Your job killing people for Sombra? Forgive me if I don't sympathize. I only killed that nosy writer because I had no choice. If he'd stopped researching that treasure, nothing would have happened. Having to kill him was very inconvenient, you know? I'm sure it was even more inconvenient for him to be tortured. Miss Prax, you inflicted 23 stab wounds on that man, not to mention the cigarette burns. Yeah. Yes, it was very messy, but I know my duty. Capella got close to learning Sombra's secrets, so he had to die. And you have no regret for it. I am told you won't reveal anything about the documents for Sombra's cache. Given your crimes and your refusal to cooperate, it's a life sentence, right? Or not. This court sends you to 40 years in jail. I'm not worried. Your whole social order will crumble before long, and then no prison will hold me. Oh my. Katrina, I feel old saying this, but Sombra agents seem to get more brutal every year. That girl didn't see anything wrong with murdering a man the way she did. You're right, we should focus on what she said about Sombra's cache. Apparently it contained documents hidden here by a Sombra cell several decades ago. I know what you're thinking, Katarina. We came to Argentina to trace the Sombra cell from back in the 50s, and we've just got confirmation of old Sombra activity here. That document suggests might have been left here by the Sombra explorers returning from Antarctica. We've got to learn what happened to those documents and what was in them. The murder case is closed, but our investigation into Sombra is only gaining speed, Katarina. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna stop here. We're gonna continue playing in Birth of Evil number 2. So, thank you for watching. Don't leave a like to this video, and I'll see you again. Goodbye!